Today I'm going to share my top 8 real estate investment strategies for you, and in this video I'm going to focus on the Toronto real estate market because that's the market that I work in. But most of the information that I give you today is transferable to most markets across Canada and the US. And so if you are looking to invest in Toronto real estate specifically, and this is definitely the place for you, even if you've never bought a property before, you are completely new to investing in real estate, this is my beginner's guide for you, where I'm going to go through the Toronto real estate market and cover things like 1, is investing in Toronto real estate even worth it? Is it profitable? 2, what types of properties should you invest in as a beginner? 3, how do you calculate your return on your investment? And 4, most importantly, we're going to get into the real juice of this video, which are my top 8 strategies to look out for as a beginner investor. And so, for example, will you make more money with a larger condo that has 2 bedrooms or a smaller condo that has 2 bedrooms? The answer might surprise you. So stay tuned and watch all the way till the end. I'm about to get things started right now. Before we dive in, as a beginner investor, it is important to first understand the different types of real estate investments in Toronto. So you could be flipping, for example, buying an outdated house, fixing it up, and then selling it right away for profits. Or you might be looking for an income property, say a house with a basement apartment that you could rent out long term. If you're looking for something short term, then Airbnb your next property might be an option. And there is also a lot of investment in Toronto's pre-construction condo developments, because pre-construction condos typically have a deposit structure that allows you to put very little money down compared to a resale condo, for example, and you gain any appreciation on the condo as it's being built. But what I'm going to focus on today are rental properties, meaning acquiring a property and finding tenants to rent it out to long term, taking on that role as a landlord. Because this type of real estate investment is perfect for beginners because it can be an easier way to yield passive, steady income for investors. That said, though, no matter what type of investment you choose, there will be inherent risks involved. And so it is important to have the right information to move forward strategically so that you can realize the highest possible return on your investment. And so before I get into the top 8 lists of investment strategies, I do want to first address some of the possible concerns about the Toronto real estate market. So number 1, with Toronto homes being some of the most expensive real estate in Canada, you may be asking yourself whether or not investing in Toronto real estate is even profitable. Like, is it worth it? You want to make sure, obviously, that if you're going to invest large sums of cash into any investment, that you are going to get a return on your investment. And in terms of real estate specifically, you want to analyze whether or not the property will yield positive cash flow. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you generally, in Toronto, any rental income that you make likely will not cover your expenses. But just because your investment property doesn't cash flow, it doesn't mean that it's a bad investment. When it comes to Toronto real estate, we just need to focus on the long-term value. To answer the question, is Toronto real estate investments even profitable? The short answer is yes. And there are 2 main reasons that make real estate investment in Toronto profitable. 1, you can yield high equity gains. So property values have risen over 30% in the last 5 years, or on average 6% per year. And so to put things in perspective, let's say you bought a condo 6 years ago for $550,000. It would now be worth $730,000. So you just made over $180,000 just by living there. The second reason is that there is always demand for rentals. Canada is huge on immigration. We actually expect to welcome over 500,000 new immigrants every year for at least the next 3 years. And the majority of Canadian immigrants first settle right here in Toronto. These new immigrants make up a large portion of renters. And so as a landlord, you can expect to have low vacancy on your unit and a tenant to help you pay down your mortgage. The next thing you want to be mindful of is selecting the right type of property to invest in. Toronto has a huge selection of real estate to choose from condos to townhouses to semis. But when it comes to your larger type properties, so your detached houses, your duplexes, and the like, in Toronto, these are some of the most expensive real estate in Canada. And so naturally, your monthly carrying costs, so your mortgage, taxes, utilities, those are going to be higher too. And that means that cash flowing on a property is going to be harder with a larger home than with a smaller home. With that said, the market where you will see the biggest returns generally in Toronto is the condo market. To give you an idea of the cost of your typical condo here in downtown Toronto, for a one-bedroom condo just like this, you can expect to pay about $550,000. For a two-bedroom like this, you can expect to pay about $770,000. And for a three-bedroom condo just like this one here, you can expect to pay about $1.4 million, which is twice the price of your two-bed. But that's because these larger types of units are harder to come by and disproportionately more expensive. So just keep that in mind. So now, when it comes to real estate investing, it's important to know how to calculate your ROI so you can make informed decisions about your investments. So for rental properties, ROI is calculated by subtracting your operating expenses from your annual rental income and then dividing that amount by the outstanding mortgage. In Toronto, a good ROI for rental property is upwards of 10%. However, cash flowing properties are hard to find or come by unless you're willing to put down a significant down payment, say more than 30%. But if that's not feasible, that's okay. Don't let that deter you. Just always keep in mind that in this market, even if you aren't getting any short-term return, you still have long-term equity gains as well as your ability to pay down your mortgage. My name is Rochelle. I'm a real estate agent here in Toronto and the Greater Toronto Area. And if you are looking to purchase or sell or invest in your next property here in Toronto, then give me a shout. I would love to help you out. All of my contact information is down below. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or even schedule a Zoom call, all down in the description below, and I would love to help you with all of your real estate needs. Let's get into the strategies on how to get the best deals. Spotting the best deals in Toronto can be done in several different ways, but these are my top things to look out for. Number one, all else equal, choose a smaller condo unit rather than a bigger one. Purchase prices of condos largely depends on the size of the unit, and so a smaller unit will cost less than a larger unit, but rental prices don't depend so much on size, more so than they do on location. So that said, a smaller two-bedroom condo, for example, will get you more rental income per square foot than a larger two-bedroom with similar amenities. And so choose a smaller unit to rent out than a bigger one because this has higher potential for you to increase your profit margins. Number two, you also want to look out for neighborhoods that are going through gentrification. So gentrification basically just means that the neighborhood is going through a characteristic change where prices are low now, but there are demographic changes that are increasing the prices in the area. So for example, Cabbagetown is a relatively needy area of Toronto that has comparatively lower home values, but it has attracted a lot of wealthier residents because of its location, and thus Toronto is paying more attention to the neighborhood by investing more into neighborhood amenities, for example, like transit and parks. And then investors can benefit from the fact that through gentrification, property values are pretty much almost guaranteed to appreciate in value. Speaking of Cabbagetown, if you are interested in this neighborhood or other areas that are catered to a more starter budget, then check out this neighborhood that I did that runs off the top 3 neighborhoods in Toronto that are ideal for first-time home buyers because these are areas within the city that offer homes that are below the Toronto average price point, as well as tons of amenities, shopping, entertainment for a younger demographic to enjoy. And so you can check that video out here after this video, of course. Now, on the topic of transit, my third tip is to look for properties that are close to bus stops, subway or train stations, or even future infrastructure developments. Because properties that are located near transit lines with a transit score of 95 and above are more attractive to tenants and will add value to your property in the years to come. Number 4, you want to look for homes that are priced below what other properties in the area are selling for. The old adage, buy the worst home in the best neighborhood, is really fitting here because your investment property's value has nowhere to go except up, and this can be a smart way to build equity. Number 5, next you want to look at current housing trends and identify the type of properties that command a premium. So in Toronto, condos that are corner units with split floor plans are currently in high demand and can get you higher rents than interior units with side-by-side bedroom. Tip number 6 is to try looking for condo units that are disadvantaged, say by having a poor view or if it's next to the garbage chute. Because these units are usually less expensive to buy than premium ones, but can yield a comparable rental price just for being in the same building. Just keep in mind that if you do eventually sell a unit, then these same disadvantages will affect its resale value. And so just make sure to hold on to this type of property long term, say maybe 5 years or more, just to reduce your potential risk. My 7th strategy to look for is looking for units that are currently vacant. If you take over a unit that already has a tenant in there, you have to follow the terms of the lease agreement that are already in place with the previous owner. But if you get a unit that isn't tenanted, then you set the terms of the rental, including the price, which you can set at market value. And then there alone, you don't have to deal with the previous tenants or the agreement that was made before you even came into the picture. And then my last and most important tip is to hire a real estate agent. In order to invest in real estate in Toronto, you need to buy strategically. There is no one-size-fits-all strategy for investing, and so it is important to work with someone who understands your individual needs and can help you find the right opportunity with the best profit margins on the market. And so if you are looking to invest in Toronto real estate, then contact me right now. I would be happy to help you find the best investment deals on the market. I can connect you with my preferred lender to give you different options in terms of financing an investment property and work together with you to make sure that your next investment is a strategic and profitable one. All my contact is down below. I look forward to connecting with you. In the meantime, check out this video that runs off the 3 most affordable neighborhoods in Toronto because the average price of a home in the city is over $1.1 million. And so this video can actually help you narrow down your search to more budget-friendly areas for your next investment. I hope this video helped. Please give me a thumbs up. If it did, I would appreciate your support, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on the latest real estate news, tips, tricks, and strategies for buying or selling or investing in your next property here. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll catch you all in the next video, and I'll catch you all living in Toronto.